Hello, you are welcome once again. For today's lesson, I'm going to take you through quantifiers. We are looking at that under determinants. So we are going to look at quantifiers, and under that we have some selected things to consider. So look at ordinals. Okay, ordinals that has to do with position. Then we look at some quantifiers like some, few, little, no, both, all, each, every, another, other, fewer, less. Okay, but we're going to take them one after the other. So for today, we'll consider ordinals. We'll also look at some, few, little, any. So that will be our major subtopics for today. All right. So we'll look at what a quantifier is. When we say quantifier, then we know that what comes in mind is amount. Okay, amount. So the word quantifier is used to express the quantity of object, or it is a word that usually goes before a noun. Okay, so it used to express the quantity of something. The quantity of some. This one, it's not specific, it doesn't mention numbers, but it uses a word to quantify. Okay, so one other thing we should know is that it goes before a noun. So like we have in the example there, a little milk, so we have the noun there, which is what? Milk. So we see the quantifier little used there. Okay, most quantifiers are followed by a noun. It is also possible to use them without the noun when it is clear what noun is being referred to. Okay, so assuming you have something and someone asks you, okay, maybe you have something in a cup, then your friend asks you, your friend knows what exactly you have in the cup, so there'll be no need to mention the noun again. Can I have a little? Yes. So sometimes you can use it without the mention of the noun. Okay, and it still makes sense because the one you are talking to knows exactly what you are referring to. Okay, now let's look at ordinals. Mostly in class, I think we use this in ranging positions where we want to have, maybe out of 10 students, we want to see the one who came first, second, third. So when we use those words, we are referring to ordinals. Okay, so the use of ordinals is used to tell the position. It's used to tell the position of objects or nouns in sequence, that is in line, in a chronological order, how it happened, how it occurred. Okay, so we have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. It continues to infinity. Okay, so now let's look at an example. So this is a statement made by, maybe it's a dialogue. So let's see. Someone says, could it be first? So maybe out of an examination, you are asking, could he be first? Could Kwan be first? Then another person, no, second, I suppose. Then someone say, not at all, third. So we are looking at the position in what? In ranks, okay? So we're looking at it in sequence, as in how it should follow. So we look at it from the highest to the lowest. Okay, so when we use second, first, fifth, first, we are referring to what we call ordinals. Okay, let's look at quantifiers. Some and any. The use of some and any. Many times we use these words, but let's see whether we really use them properly. And if that is not the case, that means that we would have to learn how to use them properly. Okay, so we have some and any. when do you think we can use some? When do you think when you use some you make sense? When? So some is used in affirmative sentence with an indefinite meaning. Some is used with an affirmative sentence. It means the sentence you are making is positive. Okay, it means it is positive. We have an example to support that. Then it is used to state a certain quantity or a certain number of something. So it is used to state certain quantity. So in this example, I have got some food. It means that you have some amount, you have you have something. Okay, yes, some food. I have got some food. This implies I have a certain quantity of food. Do you understand? Okay. What happens when we use any? So any is used to express a negative statement. It is also found in a negative statement, meaning no. It means there is nothing. You don't have anything. I hope that is clear. So some is stating that you have some amount of something, and then any, nothing at all. Nothing at all. Okay. So I don't have any money. It means that this person talking to you has nothing. Okay. So with some, you have something. With any, there is nothing. Okay. Let's look at the next one, few and little. Few and little. Okay. We should know when to use few and we should know when to use little. So these two are used differently. These two are used differently. They are all used referring to nouns, but one is used to talk about nouns we can count and the other used for nouns we cannot count. So let's look at its uses critically. Few is used for countable nouns. When we use few, it means that we're using it before nouns that can be counted. It is also used with plural countable nouns. It means it's what you are talking about is more than one. So it's plural. Okay. So example, I have few boys who are intelligent. So in a class where you have about 20, you are saying that you have few boys who are intelligent. So more than singular, more than one, you're talking about quite a number, and you can count these few if you really want to count. So we say that it is used for countable nouns. We learned that countable nouns are things that can be counted. They are objects that can be counted. They are animals that can be counted. Anything you count is a countable noun. Okay. Little. Little is an expression used with uncountable. It means when we use little, referring to things we cannot count. So it will come in that liquid form. It could come in liquid form, okay, where we have maybe oil, we have water, we have sand, we have gari, we have sugar. Okay, those one we can only count them when we put them in a container. Okay, when we put them in a container. So let's look at the example here. Before that, let's look at this again. Little is an expression used with uncountable nouns. It is used with uncountable nouns. It means you cannot count. So example, I have little oil to offer. I have little oil to offer. Okay. So here we have little underlined, referring to a noun that cannot be counted. If you are asked to count oil, maybe you have oil in the water, mommy asks you to count. You cannot count because it comes in a liquid form. But if mommy has this oil in bottles, okay, then you can go and then count 1, 2, 3, so 5 bottles of oil. So that has been quantified. Okay, all right. So we're saying that when we use little, we are using it for nouns that cannot be counted. Nouns that cannot be counted. Okay. So briefly, we have looked at some quantifiers. We've looked at ordinals, telling us the position in sequence. We have looked at some and any, used in stating, mentioning some amount of something and the other saying there is nothing at all. So we have some stating some or certain quantity of something, then any used when you have nothing at all. Then we also looked at the use of few and little. We said that few is used for countable nouns and for plural countable nouns, and little is used to express uncountable nouns. Okay, thanks so much. This is where we end our lesson. Hopefully, when we meet next time for grammar, we will continue and we'll look at how to use a few, a little, and other quantifiers. Have a nice day. Stay blessed. Bye bye.